Welcome to the Big BoneYard. Enter at your own risk.
To pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.
Man, what's up? Good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to y'all. Hey, welcome to the Big BoneYard, folks. Welcome to the Big BoneYard. We missed you. We missed you. Hold on, I just learned I could do that. But hey, we missed y'all. It's been about a week, 7 days, I believe it has been. And that man is hungry because word on the street is that there's a certain somebody who ain't feeding them because she's eating for two. Ain't no time to feed you. Hey, look, ladies and gentlemen, you got myself. I'm Big Bone 1%. I'm the host of the Big BoneYard, and thank you for joining us here tonight. So yay me, yay me. But then also, very important to the doggone system here, we got my man Tate from A-Bait. Tate, what's up, man?
Same old shit, just a different day. Busy week. Of course, we had, the Feast of Feasts on Thursday.
Oh, right on.
And
how did it go? As a matter of fact, tell folks what that is, and then how did it go?
Well, my favorite holiday. You literally go to somebody else's house, they cook, they do dishes, then you get to go home and crash. But so it was a little different. First time away from my family. Went up to Kaylee's mom's house and ate there, then got in the car and drove 7 hours to freaking Orlando to go to my mom's. That was pretty fun.
How's mom doing?
She's good. She's good. First time Kaylee met my mom.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay. And then how did it go? Don't skip over that. How did that go? Meeting mom-in-law,
Kaylee don't start conversations. Mom's kind of standoffish. We'll see how it goes on round two. Friday, mom went and picked Gabby up, so I got to see my daughter.
Okay.
Friday night, we went to the races out in Bithlow. And then Saturday, we jumped in the car and did another 7 hours back home.
And hey, that's all right. Look, when you telling my weekend and you mentioned that you were in the cage that many times, that's some cool civilian citizen type stuff that every now and then it's good you got to kind of check out a little bit here and there and do like the
but for a grown ass man, a Volkswagen Jetta is like putting a German Shepherd in a Chihuahua's kennel.
Right. No, I hear you. All right, hey, man, the gang's all here. Hey, Clinton Lund, what's up, Clint? Douche Canoe, what's up, Douche? Oh, Miami. Hey, Miami. Hey, girl. And hey, Nicole Bell, thank you for joining us this evening, ma'am. Nicole's like my sister from another mister. Is that a thing? Did I just make that up? No, I
I mean,
heard
it
something.
could be. That
Yes,
technically could be a
that was
thing.
that was kind of cool. Nicole, we got to figure out whether or not I invented that or whether that's been out there for a little bit. I'm not sure. Carney's Ride. What's up, Carney's Ride? Hey, Pastor Troy. Pastor Troy. Hey, Pastor Troy's been doing his thing here lately. Matter of fact, let me jump in there and we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping as we do. First things first, disclaimer wise, help us out with a disclaimer if you don't mind, sir.
So everything that's discussed here is mine and Bones' opinions and our opinions alone. They do not represent either one of our respected organizations or clubs that we may or may not be affiliated with. He cannot speak on behalf of his club. I can speak on behalf of my organization. I do not. It's just easier that way. But yeah, everything's our own opinions.
Yep. What he said. What he said. And hey, doggone, I'm trying. Buttons making me mad. Biker News Canada. Always good to see y'all here. Always good to, because I'm always concerned with what's going on in the Great White North. And Biker News Canada is definitely the way to get the download. Because don't get it confused. What happens here happens there, and vice versa. And it ain't a contest, but whoop, let's just say there's some incredible, amazing, like, what the hell did I just watch?
Well, just remember, shit always flows downhill.
Hey, don't say that.
Canada isn't
interpret that the wrong way.
you can't get much further north than Canada from us.
Yeah, that's a fact. But yeah, the Canadian biker history is super interesting to me. Every time I go up there, because we've got a lot of folks in my organization that are up there, and wow, some of the stuff that goes on up there is just freaking amazing. Hey, so I say all that to say this is, a lot of Americans, we have the idea that Canadians are running around hanging out with Mounties and, wrestling polar bears and stuff and saying, all day, but no, look, let me tell you, them cats are getting it in. Whether you're talking about the French Canadian cats or the guys on the other side, they're getting it in for real. So they're doing real biker shit up there. So speaking of which, shout out to the brothers up there. Really good guys up there. And I was going to tell you also, I'm trying to get up to Canada in the early part of 2025. Definitely trying to do that. So that's the thing. It's going to come up. But hey, Ghost Eagle. Ghost Eagle's in the house. All right, Ghost Eagle. I wanted to touch base on a few things tonight. Again, housekeeping. If you go to the Big BoneYard Facebook page, you're going to see a GoFundMe there. There is a woman there, excellent woman. She's actually friends with Miami. And when I tell you, she has had the year from hell that I wouldn't wish what's happened to her this past year on anybody, on my worst enemy. I don't know, maybe not even my worst enemy would I wish this on. But the short version, she's gone through a lot of financial stress. A lot of folks did. Florida's been ravaged with the hurricanes and all that kind of stuff, and that made it hard on everybody. But if you compound that with having financial troubles and now being a single mom now, and on top of that, her oldest daughter, who was a special needs girl, which was incredibly expensive to try to let her have as close to a normal life as possible. And the girl's been fighting for a long time. She fell ill this year. And she went out fighting, but she lost that fight. Last week, she passed away. And now this woman of very limited means, who's really going through it already, needs to bury her daughter, which is a horrible thing to say. It's unnatural for a parent to lay their own child to rest. It's supposed to be the other way around. But anyway, her name is Mallory. It's there's a GoFundMe, and a lot of the biker community has answered the call. But we're not done, and we definitely still need some help. So if you especially if you go to that GoFundMe page, it's on the Big BoneYard Facebook group. Check it out, and if you hear that, if it don't hit you right in the heart, then you don't have one. But so boneheads, do me a solid and make me proud. Y'all reach out, give a little something to Mallory and help her. because she needs the help, and I would personally appreciate it if y'all could help out. So, and it don't matter how much, if you have $5, $10, $20, or more, whatever you got, there is no amount that's too small. I don't mean to sound like a televangelist, and y'all know I don't ever do this kind of stuff, but please, if you can help her out, please do so. We'd appreciate it. But like I said, it's on the Big BoneYard Facebook group, and I'm shutting up about that. Y'all know how to do it. And and along with that, on the happier news, this is how they do it on the news. On to the next story, Chad. Or isn't that what they say on the news? Stuff like
I
that.
don't watch the news. I watch Yellowstone, and that's about it. I'm a cowboy in Montana.
Hey, that's look. I freaking love Yellowstone, man. That's my jam right there, for real. And but I'll tell you what. Speaking of happier things, the COC's toy drive. So over the course of the week, I didn't really delve into it, but this has been I'm always doing biker shit. So we had our ABATE meeting for the month for the BoneYard chapter doggone last week. Really good meeting, and I loved it because it was all about positive stuff. Because when you get that many people together who all want to do good stuff for other folks, especially in the biker community, that's one thing. But now during the holidays, man, we really get to do it. There's all the stuff we did during Thanksgiving. Like Miami and I do this thing every year where we go out. Beforehand, like Pastor Troy, he fed 800. I think I said this last week. 838 families or people he fed last week. So along with doing that, we were also able to go and see some folks who definitely needed. So I was able to personally deliver Thanksgiving dinners to a family. I'm like, that's the coolest thing in the world for some folks who really needed that help. Again, that's what bikers do. I mean, we're not out here burning down orphanages and all this kind of stuff that they say on TV, right? We're actually making a difference, but we do it because it's the right thing to do. If you got a biker in your neighborhood, probably your best neighbor, and you don't even know it just yet. But Pastor Troy, he's been doing his thing because he helped out a lot with that, as well as the COC toy drive, which Let's Ride got us a trailer, and Pastor Troy went and emptied that bad boy out, and he came up with a lot of toys to fill up that thing. Because the toys that we're doing, this is before the toy drive even started. This is getting us kicked off. So now we've already got that first trailer full, but there's a lot of families that need help this year and we do it every year, but folks are going through it. So the toy drive is going to be on December the 8th. We still need a lot more stuff. And so December the 8th, it's going to be at a place called Rachel's Place. Rachel's Place is in Tampa, and the address, and I'm going to try to post this. Maybe you could throw us up there, but it's called Rachel's Place, and the address is 10061 Hillsborough Avenue, and that's in Tampa. So it's 10061 Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa, Florida, and that's going to be on December the 8th. And let me see if I can get the start time for us here. The start time is, what time's that bad boy starting? All right, it's starting something. Okay, it is starting. Okay, it's starting at 10 a.m. So it's going from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So that's this upcoming Saturday. So what we want you to do, it's going to be a great time anyway. I mean, there's going to be like really good food. It's going to be some music, some bands, activities, raffles, like all kind. It's a big old biker party, but it's a toy drive. So when you show up, bring an unwrapped toy or gift with you. Don't wrap it up, but bring it with you. If you don't bring one, that's fine too. Spend some dough, and that'll help as well. If you can't do any of that stuff, if you're outside of the area and you can't make it here, I'll throw up a link where you can make a donation here to the Big BoneYard, and I'll make sure that dough gets to the toy drive, because the toy drive, which is on December the 8th, well, on December the 21st, that's where about 100 or so bikers get to play Santa Claus, and we do in a caravan style, and we go from house to house to house, delivering all of the toys, and we get stuff for sometimes the moms or the dads, if there is one. We do that on December 21st, and if you want to join in for that ride, that's the Christmas ride. If you want to join us for the Christmas ride where we're going out and we're going to be delivering all of this stuff, let me know and we can do that too. Pastor Troy says at Big Bone, we can help with that celebration of life. More than welcome to use our facilities. Man, thank you. Because yeah, it's a rough situation, brother. So thank you about that. But anyway, so quick recap. Hit the GoFundMe page. If you can't, we'll have a link up here where you can. If you can do the GoFundMe, do that. So it's right there for you. So you can do that. And if you want to send words of encouragement, let me know. I'll let her know what folks are saying. We've been doing it the whole time. So let us know if anything. The toy drive, again, it's December 8th at Rachel's Place. Starts at 10 a.m. That's at 10061 Hillsborough Avenue. Bring an unwrapped toy or gift. And if you can't do that, I'll put the link up here where you can send some dough or something like that. But hey, it's that time of year where, we got to help each other. All we got is we.
Hey, not only is it that time of year, but a lot of people don't realize that the Tampa area got smacked. Not once, but twice.
Yep, back to back
this year by hurricanes. It was horrible. I tried to talk a certain hard-headed host to evacuate, and he refused to. But not only that, you got to think we have a bad name out there. No matter if you're a motorcycle ministry or you're a diamond holder, we got a bad name because we put a patch on our back. This is our way to show the community we're not all bad. People don't realize that some of your biggest contributors to organizations around the world, be it Toys for Tots or St. Jude's, are motorcycle clubs. This is our way to give back to the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, so freaking well said. It's true, man. And it's like there's been so much. I remember during Hurricane Ian, there was a number of bikers. There's this one club. I won't say their name because I haven't discussed it with them, but there's this one team or this one club who they have their own what we call ERT. Like when I was in the Marine Corps, after I got out of the Marine Corps, I worked with something called in Virginia, ERT, which is like the SWAT team, except for its ERT, Emergency Response Team. I was training some of those guys. I wasn't a cop. I just was the guy who trained some of the cops on how to do some of the stuff that they do. Well,
allegedly
here in Florida, no, not that. You're on the wrong side of the fence too much. But but here in Florida, a lot of guys who have that same military background and so forth are in different motorcycle clubs, and they put together an ERT. So during Hurricane Ian, these cats were out there swimming underwater. Let me say that again. Swimming underwater to get to people's houses to help them get out of flooded areas. Hurricane Ian was a horrible, horrible situation. That was 2 years ago. And of course, like Tate said, we got hit again this year. Horrible, not that long ago. But anyway, so enough about that stuff. If you can help do what bikers do, y'all already know. So anyway, so Tate said to shut the hell up and let's talk about what we're here to talk about. So this show, this episode is called Coming to a Town Near You, Old Club in a Brand New Area. And that can go in a lot of different directions, y'all. Speaking of which, the phone number, if anybody knows a little something about that or wants to ask a question or share a thought or any of that kind of stuff, the phone number here is 310-870-8994. So feel free to call in and chop it up with us a little something. But so here's the description of tonight's show. On technology. Stop messing with me, technology. And I do this for some folks. Don't actually. They're viewing this from a different area, so they can't see the descriptions and stuff. That's typically why we do it. But so when I hear coming to a town near you, I immediately think about the circus coming. The next gun show, if you're in Florida, the next gun show.
We have a lot of those.
We have a lot of those. So the next gun show coming, or maybe the next Fast and Furious movie coming to a movie theater near me. But since this is the Big BoneYard, you guessed it right. It's something motorcycle related. So if your club has been around for a while and doing things the right way, it's a pretty natural thing that your club grows. Now, first, it's going to grow in members. Like membership is going to grow, more people and everything like that. Then next, it's gonna grow as in the area, as in you got a guy in your club, he moves to a different city, for example, or maybe there's 3 or 4 of them. They go to a different city, different town, or whatever, and they want to be members of the same club, right? So what happens? That's what they do. They want to be. So if the mother chapter of that club, in most cases, says, yeah, we want you guys to be still in the club in that new area too, somebody's going to give the go ahead. And when they do, let's get the show on the road. So it's that kind of attitude. Then you got those guys that want to start up an entirely new club. I'm talking new name, new patch, new everything. They want to start up a brand new club in your area. They've never existed before. So that would be a new club. So maybe they lived in that town for a long time. Maybe they've been in previous clubs. But now they decided to start something new right here in your area. So either way, it's never as easy as it sounds when you write it down on paper, So there's about 1,000 different ways that starting a new club in a new area can go extremely wrong. So tonight we're going to talk about a few of those ways that it can go extremely wrong. But at the same time, we're also going to talk about the things that you should do to make things go right. So kick back, take a ride with us here on the Big BoneYard. See, that's me when I talk like one of the TV guys, the Big BoneYard. But hey, we love the show, so we like saying that shit. By the way, when we say bonehead, somebody thought I was being rude to people. Boneheads is something that when the show first started, there's really great people that watch the show all the time. Ghost Eagle is one of them. He remembers this. So folks was calling themselves boneheads, like the Grateful Dead have deadheads and whatnot. And what's that chick's name? Lady Gaga calls her folks the little monsters, or that's what they call themselves. And Beyonce has the beehive. So Big BoneYard, boneheads, go figure. That's how we get down. But anyway, Ghost Eagle said, our brotherhood is the best. We stand together every day on every topic that comes up. That's what's up. That's a fact. What were you saying, Tate?
I was going to say, don't ever stop by Bubba Ray Dudley from the early 90s ECW. Anyways, don't ever think just because you're a bonehead, you're going to stay a bonehead, because I'm an original bonehead. Now I'm on the show.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Dude, I forgot that. Every now and then I'll go and look at like one of the shows from like 2 years ago or something like that. And I'll be like, oh, damn. Like, I wonder. I'm like, oh, this guy. I'm like, oh, shit, that's Tate. Like that's A-Bait Tate. Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Biker News Canada said that's true, Ghost. And we all know what we talk about. It's not BS. Right. And here, let's see. I think if somebody has a burning desire to start a new club, they shouldn't start one without a diamond patch at the beginning. Okay. So here we go. So getting into that, I guess the first part of that is let's look at, the first example was a new club in a new city. Somebody, an existing club that, let's say they got 25 chapters throughout the country. They've been around for 15 years. That's not a new club. They've been around for a minute, right? So in the case of those guys, you would assume that they know protocol. They know how it's supposed to go.
Assume.
You assume. I'm just saying for our purposes here, you think, they know how to do that. It don't matter whether they know how to do it or not do it. Every area, and this is the thing that folks miss a lot, every single area is completely different. So there's different challenges depending on where you are, especially like, let's say that club that's got all them chapters. Let's say all of those chapters are in the Northeast. Well, they're dealing with a certain group of folks with a certain way of thinking. And it's sort of almost cookie cutter. If you're going from New York or from Manhattan to to Staten Island, right? That's all the same stuff. But if you're going from Pennsylvania to damn Ocala, Florida, first of all, Florida, all on its own, Florida's a completely different animal when it comes to this biker stuff, right? is completely different because Florida is a very old school, traditional biker state. Yeah, some new BS and some new school stuff gets slipped in here and there, and it usually has a natural course correction to it. But what I'm saying is, it's just different. It's not that easy to go from one completely different set and get set up in a completely different area. And I'm not just talking about Florida. I mean, if you're going from Florida to bringing Los Angeles.
Well, Florida in itself is weird because I've been around clubs in Central Florida where I'm from. I've been around clubs in South Florida. I've made plenty of trips towards, the Bay Area.
Right on.
Then I relocate to the Panhandle. It's a night and day difference. And it's like, dude, we're in the same damn state.
Yeah, yeah. But you got to also remember, Florida is a big state.
Yeah.
Florida is basically the folks that do the say-so about Florida. It's the same folks, but it's the same organizations, but regionally speaking, or that area, what we say AOs, your AO is different from the north part of Florida to the south part of Florida to the left part of Florida to the right part of Florida. You're talking about a different guy or guys in whichever area. But
and then you get where I'm at because Florida's weird shaped.
Yeah.
I'm not North or West Florida. I'm the Panhandle.
You're in Alabama. Just admit it.
LA, Lower Alabama. I tell Kaylee that all the time.
Facts. What's up, Black Dragon? Wait, is that the Midnight Ghost Rider Black Dragon, or is that Black Dragon Black Dragon?
That's Midnight Ghost Rider.
It's Midnight Ghost Rider. Right on. That's Omar, aka Black Dragon, the Midnight Ghost Rider. What's up, brother?
He looks a little young to be the actual Black Dragon.
Yeah. AD's older than everybody. But going back to the thing though, so the first thing is existing club. They've got chapters, bunch of chapters all over the country. They're coming to your area. So, all right, and by show of hands, who knows the first thing that they should do coming to the new area? Okay, you over there, black hat.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Well, first thing I would do, protocol-wise, find out who the dominant is in the area. Because if the dominant's not going to say, yeah, you can move up here, good luck.
Right on. Yeah, facts. So one thing is, so if you are, no matter where you are, and this comes up, I get this a lot. I'll hear from somebody from friggin' Idaho. They'll call on the phone, and which I'm, always a little careful about phone calls, but somebody from Idaho's calling, and they've got 5 brothers in the area, and they want to get their brothers flying. And I get that. That happens a lot. And they make the correct move in the sense that they're reaching out to the COC. Typically, they'll reach out to a board member, and that board member is going to get me on the phone or get me to talking to whomever, which is always the right thing to do. Check in with your COC. So by default, the very first thing you should do, unless you already know who the dominant is for a certain area, you check in with the COC, because a lot of times the COC is made up of whoever the dominant is anyway. So you got 2 boxes to check, the dominant and the COC. Doesn't matter which one you go to first, because ultimately you're going to have to see both of them. If you're in a traditional area, you're going to, at some point or another, you're going to have to deal with either of them. If you're in a traditional area. So that's first things first. And you got to figure out, well, why is that? Like, why do you got to, because, we all heard these cats, and I don't need to do nothing. I'm going to buy my rags and get me some new patches. And I'm going to put a duck with two flaming pistols and
wild hogs.
They're gonna wild hog it, right? That's gonna happen. And unfortunately, that all sounds real cool, right? But let's just say there's consequences to every really bad decision. So that's not the way to do it. The way to do it is the protocol is find out who is who. And again, this is an existing club that wants to have a chapter in that area. So Why could that be bad? You think, oh, well, if you're just going to a new area, isn't that just like a, no big deal, just sort of like procedural. Like I'm going to start the club. I got to tell these guys that I'm starting and we're going to be up and rolling in no time. And that would not be the case. And I'll tell you why, because there's questions. The reasons that what's going to happen or what should happen, somebody's going to say, hey, understood. We're going to need to meet. Or depending on what area, some areas are going to say like, hey, I'm not going to go see them. They better come and see me before they start operating in my area. If they haven't come and found me, if they're in the area, they ought to know who I am, or they ought to know who to talk to. So I'm not going to come. So you got to find out who that is in some areas. Once you do, there's a conversation that's going to happen. And one of those things is going to be, one of the questions is, oh, so you want to set up here in this area. Well, what type of club are you? Right. And I'm being goofy about it, but for real, what type of club are you? And what we mean by that is, are you are you a motorcycle ministry? Are you a MM? Are you like a family club? Are you a RC, a riding club? Or are you a OMC? Are you a legit outlaw motorcycle club? If you're a diamond, that's a whole entire different conversation and everything. That's a whole different thing. So we won't even get into that. But if you're one of these types of clubs, so that's the first thing that needs to be established. Like, what type of club are you? Because that's going to tell us a little something, or tell whomever a little something about what it is that you plan on doing. Because if your answer, if it truly is, we want to ride motorcycles and go to bars and chase women, and that's what we're all about. In some areas, that might be cool. In some other areas, they might, well, if that's all you want to do, there's 20 clubs here right now. Pick one and figure out if they'll let you join, because we don't know who you are. No, but we're so-and-so and so-and-so. We've been around for 15 years. And, so all of these conversations back and forth. But the first thing is, if you don't know your club's identity, as in like what you stand for, how you get down and so forth, you got to find that out before you're trying to start a new club, right? So that's one of the first things.
That's not even going straight into clubs. There's certain ABATE chapters.
Yeah.
That have had to get a hold of the dominant. One of the newest ones, I'm not going to name it, but it is in the Panhandle.
Hang on 1 second. No, go ahead. I was telling, hey, caller, hang on 1 second. Go ahead, Tate. I'm sorry.
There is a newer chapter in the Panhandle that had to get a hold of the dominant to make sure they could have their chapter. To me, that's a little weird, because we are an MRO. We're not a club. Most of our members don't wear patches, but I mean, it is a thing.
Yeah. Man, it can absolutely happen. And see, that's the thing that that a lot of folks don't get, and especially the farther south you get. And I'm not saying that New York or Philly or Baltimore don't have traditions. They do, but certain things in certain states, or they move a little different. Whereas certain states like Florida, Texas, California is very traditional about some things, depending on where you are. But California also has a whole other vibe, whereas anybody and their mother can start a club and nothing to it, and 20 minutes after you got a diamond, and it's just, they got some weirdness going on over there.
Try that shit in Illinois or Michigan.
Yeah, exactly. It's completely different than tradition. So they do some things traditional, other things not. Florida, certain states, like I said, Texas, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi. Yeah. These are states that are very traditional when it comes to the whole biker club, motorcycle club thing. Hey, hang on 1 second. We got a caller. Hey, caller, thank you for ringing in. This is reach us here at the Big BoneYard. Got Big Bone 1%er and Tate from ABATE Tate on the line with you. Who is this?
This is the motherfucking Black Dragon, the Midnight Ghost Rider, homie.
Why would you use that cussing language, you cussing motherfucker? Oh, excuse me.
Sorry about that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that, my man. Hey, but that movie, movie, oh, I watched it 4 times.
Oh, wait. Oh, you is it streaming already? Oh, sure.
Well, I pulled a little strings.
Okay. All right. Well, look. Hey, do what you do, man. That's all right.
But
Yeah, it's fire. Though, right?
But no, I'm giving you props. That movie is like that, man. Straight up. What's up, hey, babe?
What's up? Hey, if you got a link to that movie, private message me on the side because I ain't seen it yet, except for while it was being filmed.
Oh, that's right. Oh, dude, let me tell you, the movie's fire. It is fire. But
well, I was there while it was being shot, but you know, nobody gave me a heads up on this black carpet fucking reveal, and I'm fucking 8 hours away now.
No, well, I know what happened. So just so you know, since we was talking about, I think some of y'all that watch the show know what we're talking about. But the hurricane, what was the first one? The Hurricane Helene wiped out the original location for the premiere, or it didn't wipe it out. It messed it up pretty good. So the people that run the facility felt pretty strongly that they would be able to have that they'd have the location put back together, and yes, we could go ahead and do the premiere. But of course, Hurricane Milton had other ideas. Hurricane Milton said, "Hold my beer," and wiped this whole situation out. So we ended up having to change the location, the date, and everything else. So the premiere didn't happen for about a month or so later, and it got confusing because people had tickets and everything else to go to a premiere that wasn't going to happen, but they didn't know that their tickets were still good, just at a new it was a mess, that part of it. But the movie was fire, man. Hey, thank you for telling us that. We want to get back.
Hey, Big Bone.
Yeah.
Before I get off here, I got to say one thing.
Yeah, please.
You a big motherfucker, man. You real tall, dude. I didn't realize how tall you are.
Yeah, God damn. Man, he was wearing heels throughout that motherfucking movie. Don't let him lie.
Okay. But you know
my homegirl, she said, God damn it. Hey, when you whooping that nigga's ass.
Oh, yeah.
Let me shut up. Yeah.
Yes, you did see the movie. Okay. Yeah. I was wondering.
Yeah, I'm shut up.
Bro, look, we got to link up
Hell
with
yeah,
you.
I seen you.
Yeah, man, that's all right.
I put that on my mama. I seen
you. Hey, I believe you.
You big tall brother.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm gonna get off here, man.
Man, hey, love and respect, baby. Thank you so much, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Came here. All right, brother.
Right
okay.
Wow. Yeah, he saw the movie because my fight scene, or my first fight scene, I should say, was it took a long time to get that thing done. Well, you remember, it was something else. It was we knew when we finished doing that, when we finally finished that scene, which took a long time, everybody there was like, no way that's not going to be the hottest scene in the whole freaking movie. It was crazy. But I still think the scene at Let's Ride, that was insane. That was, well, anyway, you know what? Hey, the movie's called Riding Dirty. I know we got off the subject a little bit, but the movie's called Riding Dirty. I want you to pay to see it. I don't know how this guy did, but check out the movie. Check out the movie however you can. I'll say it that way. But so the other thing was, as far as this club, they're trying to get set up, or they want to get set up. The other question that, if I'm the guy meeting these folks, I'd say, well, where are you from? Where are you from? What does that got to do with anything? Yeah, I want to know where you're from.
People around the country move different.
Yeah, that's exactly. They might move different. Are you born and raised here, but your club is from somewhere else, and you guys are just some local guys who like that club for whatever reason? That's different than all 5 of these guys coming down from Canada, right? We want to find out, because usually when somebody wants to start a chapter in your town, somebody in that club, at least one, is from wherever somebody else came. They're from somewhere else. They might have had an association or membership in that club somewhere else, but now they're here, or wherever your local area is. So you want to know these sort of things, because that question is so you can get the answer to some other questions. But so it's a lot to it. That example there is really just what we're talking about. There is an existing club that's trying to put a new chapter in a new area, right? So that's the one thing. But what were you were telling me something? You said you had some questions about that stuff, Tate. What were you thinking?
So I can get, let's say a support club is trying to open up in a new area, and they have a different boss of the area. Right. That I can kind of understand. But let's say Blackness.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm wearing this is from the movie, by the way. No, but go ahead. So Blackness
Blackness
MC
is wanting to open up in a new area.
right.
That's a dominant trying to open up in another area where there may be a different dominant. How is that going to work?
That's a great question. All right. So let me not everything is made for prime time, so I'm going to censor myself a little bit. So in the case of Blackness, the fictitious club, one of the clubs from the movie, that's this thing. So Blackness MC is a dominant club. They're a dominant club. They're one percenters. And in fact, the movie even shows how traditional they are. And what I mean by that is they're traditional in the sense that each individual earns their diamond. So that's why some of the guys will have a diamond, some of them won't. When you watch the movie, you'll probably notice that because people ask me about it. But so they're a very traditional, dominant club, like that. In the case of those sort of clubs, we're not asking anybody to move to the area. However, tradition and protocol dictate that whoever says this is our area, it's not uncommon to have a conversation. In fact, it's protocol to advise them, hey, we're going to be in your area. If you're not at odds with them already and you don't want to be, you're going to, hey, we're going to come in the area. We should talk about different things. Here's where we're going to be. Here's how we're going to be operating. What can we expect from you? Here's what you can expect from us. So you figure out a way to live and let live, or even get along. Hey, we're coming to the area. We're hoping you guys can come by and have a beer. That's one way that it might go. So that's one thing. Now, if you're talking about the support club, believe it or not, that's not even a bad thing, because a lot of times, hey, their big brother might, hey, our guys are getting set up in the area, and here's the same sort of a thing. In some areas, though, if you're moving into an area where the other club hates you, you hate them, they hate you, whichever, you can try to have a conversation because protocol dictates that. They might say, stay the hell out of our area. We don't want you here. Well, if you're Blackness MC, the fact that they said that, you hurt them, but so what? You're going to do what you do. If they don't like it, do something about it. And there you go. You can fill in the blank. So on a certain level of this, you're not asking for permission. You're going to advise somebody, but that's a whole other thing, and it's not always, blood and guts and all like this. Sometimes it's just, hey, we need to understand each other so we can coexist. We're pretty good at, certain clubs are really good at doing just that. It's not that you can't get where you want to get or can't move where you want to move. Just work out the details of it. So there's a lot to that. Heather, it's good to see Heather Mo. We always say Heather. It's Heather Mo because that's the way she writes it. What's up, Heather? Good to see you. Look, I'm wearing this from the movie, Heather. But Ghost Eagle, what's up, brother? But he said, Ghost Eagle says, howdy, Heather. But so that's a great question. What's another question? You're good with these questions, man. You got me thinking and stuff. I had to put on my thinking cap.
I don't know. That's kind of
well. While you're looking, I'll tell you what. So the other part of it, here's the flip side, as far as the new club situation. Coming to a town near you, old club in a brand new area. But the opposite of that is sort of what we mentioned a little earlier. A brand new club. I'm talking new patch, new everything. I made the joke earlier about you got Daffy Duck riding a tricycle with lightning bolt pistols on the with a top rocker, a bottom rocker, all like this. Brand new club. Or the Walmart riders we used to talk about all the time. Walmart riders, but this is a club. There's questions. First of all, who are you? If I meet those guys, who are you? Meaning, like, you're a brand new club. What made you decide you want to be this club in my area if I'm the guy making that decision, right? So, and when I say who are you, I mean, are you from somewhere else? Were you in another club at some point?
Oh, yeah.
You want to be in that club? That happened. I don't want to be in that club no more. I don't like the way they do it. I just want to start my own club.
I mean, there's people out there that just hop from club to club to club, and then when they run out of clubs, they're like,
let me just go
start my own shit.
Yes. First of all, I'm glad you touched on that. So club hoppers, bad. Club hoppers are bad. And the worst kind of club hopper is the club hopper who's sick of hopping and decides he wants to start his own club. If you couldn't make it in the previous 5 clubs, what makes you think you can make it in this one? I know a guy like that who was with in 5 or 6 years. Black Dragon was talking about him not that long ago because he talked some trash about Black Dragon. He's got a podcast, this guy. He went to 5 or 6 different clubs and then decided to start his own, but it was basically just suckered some people out of money. He was, hey, buy your patch and your whole membership thing online, only $500. It was the craziest shit I ever heard of. But long story short, club hoppers, not a good thing. And that's why you ask, who are you? What, you've been in another club? And if you can say, oh, I've been in 5 other clubs, really? But you're only 28 years old. How could you have been in 5 other clubs? Because his ass was hopping. His road name would be Frogger or Kermit because he's a club hopper, right? But so there's that. But then, But then see, sometimes, so this brand new club, for whatever reason, everybody starts somewhere. So I'm not saying, oh, it's a bad idea to start a new club. No, but there's things to consider. First of all, you're starting a brand new club. Like I said a little while ago, there's 20 clubs on the set right here, 30, 40, or 6,000 if you're Jacksonville, Florida, or anywhere in California. 6,000 clubs on the set. Instead of starting a new one, how about find a club that you can identify with best and join it, spend some time with them. Yeah, no, I'm saying like the thing that happens, we talked about this before. How about you hang around, spend some time with another club and actually learn how this MC thing works? Because a lot of times the guy that wants to start a brand new club, he don't really know nothing about the show. He don't know shit, but he wants to start a brand new club so he don't have to. He doesn't want to do his homework. He doesn't want to learn how the set works or any other. He just wants to, he's got that millennial disease. I just want what I want, and I want it right now. I don't want to understand. I just want it. Jax Teller had some rags. I want some too. Give it to me now. That's not the way it works. But the other thing you're going to go,
my club, and I want it now.
Right. It's like, where are you from? So when we say where are you from, not where your club is from, because you don't have a club history. You're just starting out. Where are you from? You're the president. Okay. Where are you from? What's your pedigree? What's your background in this thing? And again, so the idea of starting a new club, it's not that it's a horrible idea, but you got to do your homework, and you really need to know what the set is. And you can't just come on the set, bam, I'm here, accept me. No, folks, if folks don't know you or your club, then you can forget it anyway. Not to mention the fact that you, from day one, you got to get through the COC and the dominant. And sometimes that's the same entity. Sometimes it's worse with the COC because you'll have the dominant and a bunch of other ones too. Because, geez, if you look at my COC, we've got 3 diamonds on the board. I mean, and I'm not putting out secret information. You can look on the website and see that. But you got 3 diamonds on the board and 3 diamonds and 3 OMCs. And then, the chaplain, our chaplain is 1%. No, okay. The chaplain is from the motorcycle ministry. But the thing is, though, is that if you're coming through my COC, man, you better be straight. You got to be straight. Oh, yeah. Because we encompass a huge part of Florida, like the big old middle part of Florida. So you better be right. But anyway, so that's what that is. Oh, go ahead.
You got people that want to come into this shit, have no idea. And then it's like, even to me, who's not club affiliated technically, it's a slap in the face because I can make a phone call and I can have diamonds from different clubs from across the state vouch for who I am and that what I'm saying I do is exactly what the fuck I do. And you got Joe Schmo over here that's just like, oh, I'm going to start a club because I don't fit in with those guys. I don't fit in with those guys. I don't like the color they wear. It doesn't look good on me. So I'm going to start my own club. I think
doesn't match my eyes. It don't match my eyes. So I got to start a club.
It doesn't look right on black vests, and I'm not really a denim guy.
Hey, I'll tell you what, who was that? Ghost Eagle just said, so if you was out bad by a club and try starting a new one, how would that set out? That's a great question. So traditionally, the way that works is this. So if you're out bad, and let me qualify this. I'm speaking as a member of a dominant club who's been on the set for a long time, which is a nice way to say that I'm old as hell. But so when you say out bad, and I have to qualify this, I hate that I
was going to say that.
Out bad
traditionally because, or out bad this bullshit they're doing these days.
Yeah. And every now and again I hear some shit about somebody was out bad. Why? Well, we told him to come by on Thursday, but since he didn't pick up his gas card from the treasurer like he was supposed to, he had to make an extra stop, so he wasn't there at a certain time. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Out bad is like 4 things, okay? In real life, out bad. So that's why we got to qualify this question. Out bad is like 4 things. You stole from the club. You slept with somebody's old lady. You intravenous drug use. And some certain clubs have that. Hey, you can smoke weed, but you can't shoot up. You know, right? That I'm not even joking. That's a thing. But there has to be it has to be something pretty major to be put out bad.
It's those 3 or a serious break of the bylaws.
Right. It's got to be a major infraction, which in most cases relates to one of those first 3 things.
Or law enforcement interaction.
Oh, yeah. And that varies from one club to the next, because you got these cop clubs, which I don't really consider personally. I don't consider clubs, but you got that there. So that's a thing as well. So also, let's see. You do something to betray your club, and that can go a million different ways. But my point is that there's just a small number of things where somebody is actually put out bad. The reason that I'm putting the emphasis on that is because when a person is out bad, traditionally, I don't care if he was put out bad. I mean, in a legit situation, he's put out bad, and 3 years later, he decides, I want to join another club, and he joins the rival to the club that he was in. He wants to join that club. The rival, whoever that club is, before they accept him, when he goes to that club and they're talking and they get to he wants to join that club conversation, one of the first questions that's going to happen is, were you in another club? And he'll say, yes. What club were you with? I was a member of Blackness MC. Oh yeah. Do you owe him any money or anything? What's your standing? Did you leave on good terms, or are you out bad? If he goes, oh, I'm out bad because, I slept with her, but so what? She wasn't that cute. They got divorced a year later anyway. Guess what? 3 years, 5 years, 20 minutes, it don't make a difference. If he's out bad, traditionally, if he's out bad, he's done. He's ostracized from the MC community. And everybody, once upon a time, everybody honored that. Now, there's also some areas, no kidding, that say, oh, well, if you're out bad, you have to wait a year before you can join another club. That's not really what out bad means. Traditionally, out bad means you're done. You're done. In some places, that's still that very same way. But remember, you got some new jacks on the set now that they think, well, I don't like that club, so we don't care about taking their garbage. He can come over here. That's not really the way it's supposed to work. But then, now here's the thing. Here's what makes it tricky. Because now you got folks that'll get put out bad out of a club for the super stupidest of reasons. That's not even a real reason. It's usually, I don't really like that guy. And to teach him a lesson, I'm going to get him kicked out of the club and say he's out bad.
He's got a fine ass old lady and they want her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the thing. Hey, I want to and usually most things there's pussy involved usually somewhere. But yeah, somebody gets put out bad for some bullshit. That club he's going to, they know that club has a reputation for being stupid. So nobody takes them seriously. And what that does, by putting somebody out bad for some BS, now your club looks like a bunch of clowns because you put him out because he was 10 minutes late to a such and such on Thursday. So we're putting you out bad. Well, now that club looks like a bunch of clowns. And nobody's going to respect them putting somebody out bad, which that's bad for the set, because if people are not respecting the fact that somebody's put out bad because they can't trust where it came from, then the whole system breaks down, because now being out bad doesn't mean anything.
I think that's where it falls on the new club now, more than it ever did before. Let's say it was me and I was trying to come to Blackness, which is ironic, but hey, I'm albino. Y'all don't know that.
No, Blackness is a multiracial organization.
Cool. I could be in that.
You can tell that from the movie. In the movie, everybody was black, but I read the bylaws for Blackness MC, and it says anybody can join. You have to be male, 21, ride an American motorcycle, and you have to have a good film test. So if you made it through the audition, then you could be a member of Blackness MC. But you got to read your lines.
Well, hey, some of them people broke the bylaws because they couldn't ride a motorcycle. But I digress.
Or read the script real well. Or memorize lines.
I mean, never mind. But that's where it falls more on the people trying to go to a newer club. Now, I say newer club, but trying to find a new club to go to, because before, if you were, I'm out bad. Okay, well, that was the end of that fucking conversation. I don't need to know why you're out bad. You're out bad. But now it's like, okay, well, if I'm going to you, okay, well, why are you out bad? It brings up a whole new conversation.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was like, oh, okay.
It don't matter. If you were out bad, once upon a time, it didn't matter why, because it was one of those sort of things. Nobody wants a guy who's gonna not respect the situation of that's somebody's old lady and you was messing with her, or you did something with the cops against your club, like you mentioned that's one. You stole from the club, or you were getting high on drugs. Now, one thing that I have seen, no kidding, I've seen this. Where a guy had a problem with drugs and the club sent him to rehab. And they're like, hey, we're going to give you a chance to get your shit straight. And, they don't know nothing about 12-step. And I remember I was talking to a guy, this is in a state in the Midwest. And I was talking to the guy who was the sergeant at arms, blew my freaking mind, because this guy had done some really bad things to brothers in his club and everything else. And they all said the same thing. It wasn't him. He was, had that monkey on his back, and but apparently it had been 5 years before. The club sent him to rehab, and the answer was, if rehab don't work, then the ass whooping you're going to get when you don't stay on the wagon is going to be much worse than anything that could have happened to you at rehab. So he had motivations that most people 12-step in it don't get. Like, they were going to kick his ass and beat him up and who knows what. But the funny thing is, he said it saved his life. So that's some new style shit, because once upon a time, they catch you banging, shooting the needle or whatever, boom, you're done. And like you said, nobody gave a damn why it was you was out bad. It didn't matter. Maybe they knew, maybe they didn't. You was out bad. That was it. But Douche Canoe said, or just Douche, pardon me, or it's Oosh without it's D without the Oosh or something like that. Anyway, he said, sounds like some people want that Founding Five patch that they saw on Sons of Anarchy and think that they are inferior without it. That's the thing. That's some of that media-minded millennial shit that comes up.
Me, I don't want a Founding Five patch.
Yeah,
because that means you're still in the baby stages. I want to be like 20 generations down. Why? Because at that point, the Founding Five are gone, and it's time that you can actually make a change. And a lot of these clubs, every once in a while, it's time for a change, or like anything else, it'll get watered down and it'll die out.
Mm-hmm. Hey, kickstands down to he said facts D. They think that makes them a better bro instead of earning the bro title. Man, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's what's up, man. And and that's the thing. It's like if you have to buy something to put it, that's a whole other thing. I'm just saying, me personally, I don't believe in all of the flashy, or they even call it flash, just vanity patches, like a Daffy Duck patch and I slept with your sister and all that. People do that. That's fine. But with me, if I'm gonna attach something, so I look at it like tattoos. If I'm gonna have a patch that's on my rags, it absolutely is gonna mean a thing. There's a reason as to why it is that I'm wearing that thing. So just slapping a patch on, and I've seen it a million times, man. Especially like those new bro. He becomes a new bro, and he wants to have a bunch of stuff on his vest. There was this one guy I know. 2 months after he finally got patched, he didn't have not an inch where he could fit anything on his vest because he went out and bought every patch in the world and put them all over, and it gave the illusion. So if you're looking at him from a distance, you're thinking, man, that guy's been around for a minute. Look at all them patches. No, he just went out and bought them. It's not the same thing.
And that's the thing. Like A-Bait's bad about that shit. But if you look at my A-Bait cut, the only patches on there that aren't A-Bait cut is the original fucking 13 patch and the state of or the American flag patch. Everything else on that cut is an A-Bait patch. People are, why don't you put this on there? Why don't you put that on there? That's not the story this cut is supposed to be telling.
Right. And I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that that you can't get a vanity patch or something like that. But it means a thing. Like when you put stuff on your vest, it's kind of you're communicating with people. Back in the day, we used to call it reading. Like if a guy was with a traditional club, you could look at his vest and know what his story is without having one single conversation with him. Now, not so much, because you might look at a guy's vest and think, okay, he must have made love to Daffy Duck when he was riding it like he stole it. I don't know what the hell,
That's why they call him Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, right. I guess. Hey, Biker News Canada said I almost got roped in by a Velcro patch guy who wanted to start a new club. He was Prez, and we got to deal with Dom's hard pass. Thanks anyway. But yeah, so that's some of the stuff. So in fact, have you met any of these guys who have 10 stories about the clubs they almost joined?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love them. I love them because they'll start talking. And it's like, okay, what's really great is when I talk to somebody and they're from like the Bay Area, they're from Central Florida, or even up here now, and it's like, so I know people in that area. The clubs you're talking about, I know who they are, and it's like, so you mean to tell me the boss of that club told you XYZ? And he's like, yeah. That's funny. Why? Because somebody looking like you walking into that house, he wouldn't have talked to.
Facts. Hey, so Doggone Frost just said, where'd it go? Frost pointed out that Frost from Kickstands Down says, put out or out bad, they are two different things. And to some degree, he's correct in that. So I've seen guys who they call it writing out. So guy gets a bunch of fines. He's fined to the point where he can't pay it or don't want to pay it. And he's got the fines because he was fucking up about this, fucking up about that, or so you assume. Sometimes even fines are bullshit. But they created such an environment where he couldn't remain a member of the club, even if he wanted to. Like maybe he couldn't afford it, or maybe it was just too difficult, or he couldn't do the things that was asked of him to remain a member in good standing. It might be something as simple as I can't pay my dues, or I don't want to pay my dues, or such, any of that kind of stuff. So yeah, in those circumstances, that brother is going to find himself on the outside of that club. So he's put out. He kind of almost put himself out in the circumstance in the scenario that I just gave you. So he's out of the club, but not necessarily out bad. But that goes back to the original thing. What the hell is out bad anymore? You know, so for those of y'all that's listening and have any influence in your clubs or your chapters, out bad is those four things. It has nothing to do with who got a new road glide and my CVO's faster or any of the silly stuff that comes up to whereas guys are getting put out bad for, right? Let's be grown ass men about the situation and stop putting people out bad. And by the way, if somebody's out bad from another club, just because you don't like them don't mean, and you want numbers, that don't mean that you got to take that dude just because. No, if he's out bad, let him stay out bad. There's no consequences. So being put out bad is supposed to be someone saying, oh, geez, I don't want to be put out bad. Because if I'm out bad, I'm out. And like in some areas back in the day, if you was out bad, don't show your face. If you know that I'm going to the bike night on Thursday, and that's where me and my brothers go, don't be there. Don't be there. Because that's what out bad used to mean. Out bad used to mean not just my club, you're out bad from the set. Every club on the set was a steward. It was their job to take care of giving out that title and enforcing what that meant if someone had that title. That's why it was very traditional back in the day. If somebody got put out bad, hey, they was going to let the other clubs in the area know, hey, so-and-so is out bad. And that meant sometimes, hey, we never liked that guy. The rival club, they find out somebody's out bad. They wanted to go and, tune his ass up or whatever. Guess what? He's out bad. They ain't going to do, his old club don't give a damn. So we can take out all our frustrations on that dude who used to wear that patch, who don't wear it no more because he's out bad. And he can't come to you guys for, the 3 Ps, pussy, power, protection, oh, that's done. He's out bad. And I know this show wasn't supposed to be about out bad. It was about brand new clubs and whatnot. D said, as an outsider, my understanding is this is old school out bad. Yeah, old school out bad is what we're talking about. This new stuff is, again, I say anybody's listening, let's let everything that's new is old again. Let's get back to the traditional way of doing things. I'm not saying that because I'm Florida or something like that. I'm saying that because I'm a biker, and in our world, that's supposed to mean something. Not supposed to be a club hopping. It's the worst. Ghost Eagle said, bad part of today's clubs, they're looking for the numbers. Yeah, I just said it. They're looking for the numbers. They do not care if you ride a bike or not. Yo, that's a thing. Have you seen these guys that are in motorcycle clubs but don't have a motorcycle?
They always in the truck at the clubhouse.
Yeah. They go to bike night and it looks like a damn car show.
Or it's
they keep the cars clean.
They always got an excuse. Oh, I ain't got tires on it. I need an oil change. It needs a new battery. I need brake. Dude, you can't have everything wrong with your fucking bike at the same time.
Mm-hmm. All the time. Oh, hey, D just said something else. Man, Douche Canoe, you're on. I keep calling you Douche Canoe. I know you changed your name, but
he's always gonna be Douche Canoe.
Yeah, I know, right? But D said, and he just kind of broke it down because there's just such a small number of things, but it's here's what you do to get put out bad. Steal from the club, sleep with a brother's old lady without permission, and that's a very important distinction. Without permission, IV drugs, roll on a club, be a chomo, but not that's basically it. And
the only other one would be cooperating with law enforcement.
Oh yeah. And see, some of these things are go without needing to be said, but that any of that stuff, like you said, cooperating with law enforcement, being a freaking chomo, that's a short-eyed, that's a pedo, that's all the same thing. Being one of them mofos, rolling a club. So all of that stuff, that's the reasons why somebody would be put out bad, for real. All this other stuff is just made up BS. Biker News Canada said, same as they didn't snitch on me, so he's okay. That's a crazy way to think it. If you snitched on somebody, anybody, You'll ask. That's another. If you're a snitch, you're a snitch. It don't matter if you snitched on someone other than me. You're a snitch.
It don't matter if you snitched on somebody to the boss of your own club. You're still a fucking snitch.
Right. Exactly. And like, fortunately, and I've been blessed to be in organizations that embrace that ideology. If you're a snitch, we got no use for you, no room for you, no space for you, no conversation for you. In fact, get the fuck away from me, get the fuck away from my brothers. I better not see you no more. But Clinton Lund said in the 1960s, a relative I never met was put out bad. He quickly moved to Alaska and never came back to the Midwest. The club showed up at his mom's funeral 10 years later looking for his ass.
Must have been from Illinois.
Not sure. Clinton's going to tell us so. Hey, Clinton, if you're listening, where was that guy from? Kickstand Down says, no Happy Meal rags. If it ain't in your heart, don't put it on your back. Yes,
Amen.
sir. See, that does my heart good because I know Frost's been listening to me. You know, because Frost, good dude. He's another cat that was a bonehead from day one. And so it really was like he's like a sponge. Frost absorbs information. So
there's a lot of us you picked up from the round table.
Yeah, man.
The Boneyard was a thing.
Yeah, we're actually gonna get together. Me and BD were talking. We're gonna do a few more like roundtable style episodes where we'll simulcast it from the Big BoneYard and Black Dragon show. And there we are. I'm just going through some of the conversation here. By the way, y'all, if anybody's got a question or anything like that, give a call. We're going to wrap up here in just a little bit, but I wanted to go through everybody's comments. Biker News Canada said, what happy to thinking if he did it to that club, why would he not do it to yours? Which is exactly the reason why, hey, if he's going to...
Because they don't think about that shit.
Well, they should. They absolutely should. Kickstand Down said, used to have honor and respect for the culture, history, and protocols. Now people rarely respect anything, yet alone honor it. That's a big one. I talk about that all the time because now, fortunately, and I want to stress, even though we're saying all this negative stuff, there's enough really good, solid clubs and good, solid brothers out there that make it absolutely worth getting involved in a motorcycle club. We started the show talking about the good things that bikers are doing. So it's a lot of good stuff out there. And because of the good stuff and because of the brotherhood and the honor, the loyalty and the respect, it is disgusting to me when I see the opposite of that. I'm like, if you come with that damn civilian citizen ass bullshit that does not fit properly in the MC community, and keep that shit pushing. So let's just stay out of my face with that. That's not what we're about. Bike News Canada said, what happened to thinking if he did it to that club? Why? Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, I got that. And here we go. Clinton said, Kickstand, yeah, that's embarrassing to our family, but a good lesson from the past. Let's see here. He said, he said douche canoe is fine. Where did he say it was?
St. Louis. Missouri's in the South, buddy.
No, it's not. Well, compared to Canada, yeah.
Missouri is a southern state.
Well, I mean, if you want to get all technical about the Confederate or the doggone Civil War and shit, yeah. So, yeah.
But then again, so is North Carolina and Virginia.
Yep. But let's see. Ghost Eagle said, no matter what happens, I'm still holding the old school values tradition. I do not care for the PG culture vultures today. Yeah, they're out there too, man.
But what I would say is anybody that's on here that is looking to join a club, stay a civilian as long as you can. Keep your hang around period as long as you can. Simply because you never know when shit's going to go south. And I don't mean like something's going to pop off. I mean, somebody's going to show their true colors. Pay attention to everything. Keep your fucking mouth shut. Sit in the back of the fucking clubhouse. Pay attention before you ever put a probate cut on.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I always tell people that the hang around period is that, and the hang around period is probably the most important time for the club and for that individual. Because this is a time where you're not a probate, so you can speak freely. So me personally, hey, I want to hear what he's got on his mind before he's running around, getting bags of ice and taking out trash and calling me big brother and whatnot. I want to find out who he is. I want to see how he is in a relaxed environment. I want to talk to him after he's had a few. If he's smoking, hey, let him smoke it up. Let me talk to him then. Because my mother used to say, a drunk mind speaks a sober heart.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I want to know who he really is, right? And that's his opportunity to find out, is this club a good fit for him? Does he even like these people? You don't even got to like everybody. But if this club seems like the move for you and you think, hey, I've been hanging around for a little bit, maybe I need to take that next step. Well, it's easier to do that when you hang out with them. So you got to get to the point where they even want you to, because a lot of times guys look at a club and they think either A, I heard about that club, they're so cool, man, they got all the girls, they're so cool, or they know they have a background or family members or something that are a part of this thing, like a fraternity. Hey, I always saw myself doing this. So that's okay, right? But then let's find out, is this the right place for you, or are you the right person for them? So that's why it's so important. People skip over that. A lot of clubs put more attention on, if we only had 3 more members. Yeah, he'll do. You know shit about him. Who what do you know about that guy? Nothing? Okay. So why is he gonna make a good member? You don't even know.
He's got a pretty bike.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a great bike, or
he's got a great paying job.
Yeah. Or he can pay dues. So what? Any member is
sleep with this old lady. She gives good head.
Okay. So yep. Now they roll around in the dirt to look like, look like they ride, but have never left their county. Yep. Facts. He said, better have your receipts because we keep them. Okay. Let's see here. Ghost Eagle said, can't pay dues and won't are 2 different. Oh yeah, those are 2 different things. See, in some clubs you can, just be owing. What's up, Carney? But some clubs, it's like, they're just really lenient about paying dues. Some clubs don't even have dues. So it just depends on the type of organization that you're in. But listen, we could go on and on and on. This has been a good night. Anybody who's got any questions about any stuff? Oh, Freedom, what's up, man? Let's just see my brother Freedom. What's up, man? Freedom said, what happened to tradition? That's a fact. Because tradition, there's a reason that we do the stuff that we do. And there's a reason that certain clubs have been around since the 1960s. And they're still here, bigger, better, and stronger than ever before, right? But it's because tradition. It starts with the tradition. You can't have tradition if you're a 3-year-old club because you ain't been around long enough. But if you're a 20, 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old club, okay, well, wait a minute. Okay, they might have some tradition.
Yeah.
If you stick to tradition, I'm not saying that things don't change. Everything changes, technology and all this other stuff. But the basic core values of your club, you should embrace those things if you have the ability to, so tradition. In fact, Frost was saying some of those things earlier, like the honor, the loyalty, the respect, the brotherhood. That's real stuff. Those aren't just catchy little words. That's real stuff. Some of us. Ghost Eagle said they're having mommy drop them at the club or taking an Uber. Okay, yeah,
that's what they don't
like. Okay. Mr. Switch, what's up, brother? Mr. Switch says the real bike community will know he ain't shit before he gets joked. Okay, yeah. Kicked out. Okay, right on. And let's see. Clinton said that was Missouri. Okay. And Heather, speaking of Missouri, Heather said to tell you, she said to tell you that Tate, you are a lion mofo. She said Missouri is in the middle of the map. Tate,
Missouri ain't that damn far from me.
The middle of the map. Tate, right? She's just kind of, oh, hey, is K Solo in the play? Hey, K Solo. Oh, I didn't know that was K Solo. She said, "Good evening, K Solo." Is K Solo the same as Clinton Lund? Because K Solo, I know. I didn't realize that was the same cat. Oh no. Riding with K Solo. Hold on, let me see here. Riding with K Solo. I just seen it. Riding with K Solo. Star Rider, the podcast. Okay, all right, that's what's up. Okay, I didn't even see who was in here. Man, we got all kinds of cool people in here tonight. But hey, I tell you what. So for everybody that's listening, if you're here, and do me a solid favor, pretty please. Go ahead. I said pretty please, like my daughter used to say. Hey, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the comment. We of course love that, but hit the like button and share this show. Share it with somebody. Hit the like button. But more importantly, if you don't do that, what we would really appreciate you doing is taking some time out. Go to the Big BoneYard Facebook page and leave a comment. If you can't leave some dollars, leave a comment, words of encouragement. That would be appreciated. But hit that GoFundMe, please. This will help out a family who absolutely needs it. Absolutely needs it. And of course, also on the fun good tip, the toy drive that's going to be in Florida. It's at a place it's at Rachel's Place, which is 10061 Hillsborough Avenue. That's in Tampa. And that's on December the 8th, and it starts at 10 a.m. And Pastor Troy said, great show, other than all the cussing. Pastor Troy, you are correct. I told Tate to stop cussing so much.
It's a Southern thing. I'm sorry.
He said
it's like sweet tea and turnip greens. They all go together.
The algorithm. But hey, we're going to try to do better. Pastor Troy, look, thank you for that reminder. I'm going to try to curtail some of that cussing and carrying on and all like that. But listen, if anybody can help out, if you want to help out in regard to the toy drive, hey, if you can make it, bring a unwrapped toy or gift. If you can't make it, but you want to contribute, then here, I'll put this up here where you can, there you go. There you go. Okay. So right there, you can really, come on, button. Okay. There it is. All right. It's working now, but, you can donate, you can send a couple of bucks, 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever you got, send that, let us know so we can talk about who you are and how you helped us. But, we'd appreciate it. Other than that, I'm going to, and watch this. I started to say biker, SHI, something or other. But so for the next 7 days, I'm going to be out there doing biker stuff. Tate, what you doing for the next week?
Next week, working. But, we got the anatomy scan is Thursday. That's where they go through and do the whole figure out how big the baby's head's going to be.
Oh, yeah, for real.
How destroyed she's going to be. But December 14th in Orlando, if people want autographs, I'll be there. You'll be there. 8-8 state meeting. It's open to anybody.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Get at me and I'll get you details on the location.
Yeah, y'all hit us up. Anybody's got any questions about anything, hit us up. You can, hey, Mr. Switch, thank you. Yeah, he said congratulations to you, Tate.
Thank you.
And please, Pastor Troy, if you could get your prayer warriors together to make sure that when baby Tate is born, that baby looks like his mother.
Oh, amen.
Lord, I need my prayer warriors.
We don't need none of this running around.
Hey, well, look, y'all, we just appreciate the heck out of y'all. See, I even said heck. I appreciate the heck out of y'all joining and taking this ride with us tonight on the Big BoneYard. I hope y'all had fun because we definitely, we doggone sure did. I'm really going to work on that cussing thing. I am. I promise you, Pastor Troy, I'm going to work on the cussing because I really need to do that. But hey, we had a great night with y'all. We're going to be back in about 7 days to do this thing again. But between now and then, keep an eye on the Big BoneYard Facebook page. We're going to be putting some things on there, not just the GoFundMe. I've said that like about 40 times because I want y'all to know. So hit the like button. Go to the GoFundMe. I'm giving y'all homework. Go hit the GoFundMe. Come to the toy drive. If you can't come to the toy drive, hit up the Cash App. Show us some love. We definitely appreciate it because a lot of people, and that's the biggest thing I want to leave y'all with. This is bikers helping people, not just other bikers, but just people in the community. That's what we do. Other than that, Tate, what you got to say to the folks?
Keep it on 2 wheels.
Yeah. I like to do that. Hey, love and respect, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us tonight on the Big BoneYard, and we will see y'all again in 7 days. Wait a minute. Did I mess something up? Let's go like that. Yeah, damn it. Oh, see, look, I hit all kinds of the wrong buttons. Yeah, right? I need to learn how to push the correct buttons. For those of y'all that are with us. There you go.
Boneyard.